bother you? Am I in your way? Ask her if I'm in your way. No, am I in your way? No, okay.
He's about to sing one for you. We don't let him sing very many, and you're about to find out why. But Charlie, he's kind of embarrassing to go places with. We just went out to supper, did our sound check, and came in here to play. But we'd been to supper, and I'm still reeling from this. We went to a really nice place, and the special of the day was beef tongue. And so I ordered the beef tongue, and Vickie ordered the beef tongue, Mike ordered the beef tongue, and Barry ordered the beef tongue, and come time for Charlie to order, he just looked kind of stupid and said, yeah, I couldn't stand to eat anything that came out of the mouth of an animal. Just bring me a couple of eggs. But actually, I'm having a great day today, though. I went out to my mailbox today, and you know, Obama's having trouble with the IRS, and I've been having trouble with the IRS, not for just a few weeks, but for years. The IRS has been after me for back taxes and penalties and fines. Oh, it's been terrible. But today, it's all wrapped up. It's all over. I went out to the mailbox today, and there's another letter from the IRS. And I was afraid to open it, but I opened it up. Great news in there. It's all over. I opened it up, and it said, "Final notice." Thank goodness that's final notice. So, Charlie's about to sing a church song here. Charlie came to me about 10 years ago, and he said, "Ranger Stan, I don't know what to do. All my finances are just going straight into the toilet. I really honestly don't know what to do. And I'm a good Christian man. I said, Charlie, I think you need to just look at the Bible and see what the Bible says about financial problems. And so I saw him a week later. He was driving a brand new Cadillac, waved at me, had a big gold Rolex on his arm. I said, Charlie, what happened? I thought you were having financial problems. And he said, well, I was, but I took your advice. I opened my Bible, and the first thing I saw was the answer to my problems. I said, well, really, what did it say? He said, chapter 11. Oh, it's Charlie Castleberry.
Sleep till the doorbell rang, and I got up, went to the door, and there's a couple of Jehovah's Witnesses there. And I invited them in, and they came in and sat down on the sofa, and I said, what do you guys want to talk about? They said, we don't know, we never got this far before. I mentioned I was a good Christian man. I've been a Southern Baptist since 9 months before I was born, and when I was in kindergarten, I was introduced to something I'd never seen before, and that was a show and tell. One day, this little boy came up to the front of the room, and he says, I'm a Roman Catholic, and this is a symbol of my religion. This is a crucifix. I thought, well, that's nice. Well, the next day, a little girl came up to the front of the class, and she says, I'm Jewish. This is a symbol of my religion. This is the Star of David. I thought, well, that's nice. Well, so the next day, it was Ranger Stan's turn, so I came up to the front of the class, and I said, I'm a Southern Baptist, and this is a symbol of my religion. This is a casserole dish. I got some great material here. I'm actually having a really good week, too. I had a good day today, but I had a really good week on Wednesday of this week. My mother-in-law went in for a facelift, and the doctor came out and he says, Ranger Stan, I got good news and I got great news. The good news is the facelift went very well. The great news is we have enough skin left over to make you a pair of cowboy boots. Thank you, music lovers. Now listen, we're going to do a little song a shop teacher. This one's called I Kissed Her Ruby Red Lips, But I Left Her Behind for You. Stage with us tonight. That's Gary Patton. He's amazing, and but he's once again he's like Charlie. He's kind of embarrassing to be places with, and as he's showing off. He's always showing off, and you know if you're on the bones, that's fine. But has he shown you his puzzle tonight? He's been out there. He's been showing people the puzzle all night long. He's got this puzzle. He says he's showing us backstage. He come in. He says, "Ranger Stan, I got this puzzle I want to show you. It took me 6 months to put it together." I said, well, 6 months, wow, I have like 3,000 pieces or 5,000 pieces? He said, no, it had 25. So it took you 6 months to put together a puzzle that had 25 pieces? And he said, yeah, but look here on the box. It says 3 to 5 years. And Barry lives kind of down there on the Oklahoma-Kansas line. Do you live on the Oklahoma side? Yeah, well, and, you know, he gets a little confused sometimes. You know, in Kansas, you know, we have the Arkansas River that flows right through the middle of Wichita, and we got Arkansas City down there. Well, we were playing a gig down in that area, and after the gig, we stopped to eat, and Barry all night long had been calling it Arkansas City. And we said, no, Barry, it's Arkansas City. He said, no, there's a whole state over there called Arkansas. It's got to be Arkansas City. I said, no, it's Arkansas City. So anyway, we're eating at this little restaurant, and this little girl that worked there walked by, and I said, would you tell this cowboy here where we are and say it really slowly so he can understand it? So she says, all right. Burger King. I haven't introduced, let's see, we got Barry, we got Charlie, there's Mike, and Vickie's getting ready to sing for you. Now, I really should go easy on her, but Vickie, this actually happened at, you gonna answer that there? This happened at church. This is at my church on Easter. Vickie came by to play, help us out, and we were playing the service, and Vickie was just singing this beautiful song, and a little mouse, I guess, enjoyed her singing. This little mouse came running out from the side, and Vickie saw that mouse, and she started screaming right in the middle of her song, and I guess that scared the mouse or something, and it goes running, and it started to run up her leg. And I tell you what, it was a miracle what happened next, because that mouse started running up her leg, and she caught that mouse and held it right there between her knees. And it was a miracle, I'm telling you. The miracle was she squeezed over a quart of water out of that mouse. This one's called When the Lone Ranger Ripped His Pants, They Found His Hideout.
Fill me up in warm
mentioned we had a gig down around the Winfield area, and I don't know how familiar you are with the roads down around that area, but I'm the driver for the band, and we're on the way back to Wichita, and I got pulled over by the police, and it was kind of embarrassing, but the policeman came up the window and said, I said, "What's the matter, officer?" And he said, "Well, you're driving awful slow." I said, "Well, I'm driving the speed limit." And he said, "Well, what do you think the speed limit is anyway?" And I said, "Well, it's 15. I saw it on the sign right back there. It said 15, so I'm driving 15. He said, "Well, did that 15, did it happen to have a sunflower around it?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I think it did." And he said, "Well, you dummy, you're on Kansas Highway 15. That's the route number." I said, "Oh, okay, I'll speed it up." So he started heading back to his car, and he looked in the window, and he saw the rest of the band in there. And he said, "What's the matter with the rest of those people? They're all white as a ghost." And I said, "Oh, we just got off of Highway 160. Say, I don't think I mentioned that Mike and Vickie are married, and I was over at their house last year. They were getting ready to celebrate their anniversary, and I heard Mike asking Vickie, said, "Honey, what do you want for our anniversary?" And Vickie said, "Well, I think I want a divorce." And Mike said, "Well, I wasn't planning on spending that much." I went out this afternoon with my wife. Our kitchen stove had gone out, and so we went down to Best Buy. We were trying to buy a new kitchen stove, and I went in there, and this little boy came up that I guess he's trying to sell us on the spot. And he says, "You know, if you buy this stove today, you won't pay anything for a year." And my wife says, "Who told you about us?" I mentioned fancy restaurants. I was at a fancy restaurant with my wife the other night, and it was a little fancier than what I thought. I didn't realize there was a dress code, and of course my wife, she always looks great. They let her right in, but they said, "I'm sorry, sir, you can't come in. We have a strict dress code. You have to have on a necktie to come in here." And well, I didn't have a tie, but I said, "Go on in, honey. I'll go see what I can find." And well, I went out to my pickup, and all I could find was some jumper cables. So I tied those around my neck and went up to the door, and they said, "Well, I guess you can come in, just don't try and start anything." I got one more Vickie story, and then we got one more song, and then we'll be out of here and let the show start. This is a Vickie story, and you're not going to think Vickie is in this story, but trust me, she's in this story. I've done a lot of things in my life. I've been a superstar cowboy singer like I am tonight. I'm a math and science teacher, worked on a chicken farm. You know, I've done a lot of stuff, but one thing, I've been a pilot. One of the things, though, I've never done is I've never jumped out of a perfectly good airplane. So I decided I'm going to take parachute lessons, and I'm going to jump out of an airplane. So I went down and took the ground school, and they said, "Well, Ranger Stan, it's real easy. You just jump out of the airplane, and you yell, 'Geronimo!'" Of course, I had a question about that. I said, "Pardon me, what is, if Geronimo jumps out of a plane, does he yell, 'Me?'" But anyway, no, they said, "Just yell Geronimo, and then pull the big red cord, and your parachute will come out, and you'll float to the ground." And I said, "Okay, great." So I said, "Well, what happens if I pull the red cord and nothing happens?" They said, "Well, that's easy. You just pull the yellow cord, and your reserve chute will come out, and you'll float to the ground." I said, "Oh, okay, I'm ready." So they took me up, and I jumped out of the plane, and I yelled, "Geronimo!" and I pulled the big red cord, and nothing happened. I was a trained professional. I knew just exactly what to do, so I didn't panic. So I pulled on the yellow cord, and nothing happened. So I'm hurtling towards the ground, and about that time, hey folks, we didn't leave when you got here. Where was I? I pulled the big yellow cord, and nothing happened, and so I'm hurtling towards the ground, and about that time, I meet Vickie coming up the other way. And so I yelled to her, I said, "Vickie, you know anything about parachutes?" And she yells back, "You know anything about gas stoves?" Thank you. This will be our last song. Get the music started up here.
Oh, that's what they're doing. Yeah.
I promise I won't tell any more jokes.
Amongst the